If you listen to most people that we would call liberal or progressive, you would swear that the bane of their existence is racism. I submit to you, it's what makes them alive. They love racism. It's everything. And despite this endless rhetoric about progress and justice and DEI and ESG and unity and inclusion, the uncomfortable absolute truth is that America doesn't really want to ever end racism. It has become addicted to it. Racism is no longer treated as a societal disease to be cured, but rather as a commodity, a spectacle, a spectator sport, and a political currency. It's the centerpiece of modern discourse, of arguments, fueling news cycles and channels and blogs and nonsense and posts and screaming and yelling and riots and exploitation, dividing communities, generating profits across the ideological spectrum. America doesn't hate racism. It needs it. It loves it. There's a national addiction to race. Racism has evolved from a moral failing into a strategic asset. Think about what I'm saying. Conversations and discussions around race, whether it's on TV or social media or X or whatever it is, or academic panels or whoever, rarely aim for clarity or resolution. Oh, no. They exist to provoke, to posture, to signal allegiance and compliance. Every headline, every protest or viral clip involving race doesn't just inform, it inflames, it exacerbates. And that's the point. We say we want equality, but the behavior tells another story. You see, the outrage around historical topics like slavery isn't typically about reconciliation or reparation or true reparation, as in repairing. It's often a stage for political theater or classroom performance. Activism becomes content, and pain is therefore profitable. See, America doesn't glorify racism in its older overt forms, hoods and slurs and burning crosses. Oh, no. But it absolutely glorifies the conflict surrounding race. The modern obsession isn't with racism itself, but with the fight over it. You see, this is what we have to focus on. Identity, above all everything, is filtered through a racial lens. Crime statistics, hiring practices, college admissions, voting rights, all of it is immediately dissected along racial lines. Society is encouraged to view every social issue not through class, behavior, or values, but through race. Every political affiliation is being recast. Red versus blue has become black versus white. Institutions, in their attempt to be aware, whatever that means, have created this hyper-racialized environment where identity is counted before character. Are you digging this? This racialized, radicalized framework is not an accident. See, media platforms thrive on the drama of racial conflict. It's emotional, it's primal, and most importantly, it sells. Every panel discussion must include opposing ideological voices, preferably of different races, to keep it real, to keep the emotional temperature high. Outrage, not resolution. Outrage drives engagement. See, the more the narrative heats up, the more the ratings climb, and then every network, left or right, profits off the same cycle. See how that works? It's called monetizing racism. Racism has been turned into a lucrative industry. Entire careers are now built on pointing it out, denying it, or weaponizing it, or exaggerating it, or capitalizing on it. DEI consultant, ESG, activists, authors, influencers, political operatives have all commodified race as racial arsonists. They market victimhood and virtue for, well, they would hope, for nothing but personal gain. Corporations hire, maybe they still do, I hope they stop, but they were hiring consultants for diversity training, not out of conscience, but to shield themselves from lawsuits and PR crises. The appearance of progress is often more important and more valuable to these folks than actual progress. It's better to look good than feel good. Remember that? Now, on the flip side, cultural commentators on the right have been found also benefiting because they found a gold mine in mocking woke culture and racial hypersensitivity. They generate massive traffic by highlighting the stupidity and the insanity and the absurdities of performative activism. Both sides benefit. Neither side wants to shut it down. Why would they? Racism sells, baby. It's great. There's gold in them thar racial hills, or in any event, it's a power play. If you strip away the branding and the slogans, all you're left with is a more primal truth. People like power. And in America, race has become a means of acquiring it. Oh my God. Whether it's through claims of oppression or accusations of prejudice, the weaponization of race allows individuals and groups to claim the moral high ground. Everyone wants to win. Nobody wants to reconcile. There's no money, there's no profit in reconciliation. Racism has become an arena, not a conversation or discussion. It offers easy leverage. Calling someone racist ends the argument. Being called a victim of racism grants immunity from critique. You're special. You're bulletproof. It's no longer about understanding. It's about advantage. I know you understand this because it's the myth of moral progress. You see, the country has evolved past slavery and Jim Crow, but the social addiction to race-based conflict remains intact. It's not that racism is as widespread as it once was. It's that race remains the primary lens through which we interpret everything. If racial conflict disappeared tomorrow, entire ecosystems would collapse. College curricula, media outlets, television programming, corporate HR departments, social media empires, they all rely on race and racial discourse as fuel. America's progress is largely, as you know, performative. We celebrate the end of past injustices while embedding the racial narrative into every modern debate. The legacy of racism, I'm sorry to say, has not been eradicated. It has been rebranded. From X threads to cable news segments, the race discussion has become a self-sustaining content machine. Remember, age is entertainment. Don't ever forget that. Viral moments involving race are rarely educational. They're spectacles. Campus protests and awkward commercials, celebrity slip-ups and oops, and all serve as ritualized outrage performances. Both the offended and the outraged play their roles. And the activist screams injustice. The contrarian mocks the overreaction. Both rake in attention, both profit, but nothing actually changes. Change isn't the goal, it's theater. And the more trivial the incident, the louder the debate. Whether it's a misworded tweet or a statue no one cared about, symbolic skirmishes replace substantive reform. Microaggressions are treated as hate crimes. Accidental slights are elevated to moral crises. Oh no! This isn't civil rights, right? It's a culture of performance masquerading as progress. The elite, they love this. It's their favorite distraction. And while the public fights over identity, the real elites, the donor class, the corporations, the political dynasties, they smile. Race war is the perfect distraction. While working and middle-class Americans bicker and quibble over statues and skin tone, wealth is extracted, power is consolidated, and accountability lost. The ruling class thrives when the public is divided. And no wedge divides quite like race. It's true. If people are busy seeing their neighbor as the enemy, they're not watching the true systemic theft happening above them. The real distraction. It's kind of like bread and circuses for the racially hypersensitive. When race is the focus, class is ignored. When people argue about privilege, they miss the fact that billionaires are rewriting the rules. Racism, in this context, becomes a strategic diversion, not just a problem, but a shield. And winning. Here, winning. It's not ending. See, here's the most bitter truth of all. We don't want to end racism. We want to win at it. We want our team, our side, our narrative to dominate. The goal isn't equality, it's victory. Now, for some, that means, claiming historical justice. For others, it means resisting that claim. I don't know. Either way, the outcome is the same. Conflict over harmony. Conquest over community, over engagement. Racism, look, racism is no longer a social disease. It's a social framework. It's a religion. It's a prism that keeps us locked into this tribal battles. It's bipartisan, cross-cultural, and institutionally embedded in us. So listen, we love the fight. We don't want to bring back the horrors of the past. That's not what we're saying. But we do want the drama. Race gives us identity. It gives us purpose. It gives us enemies to fight and allies to champion. It gives us content for shows. It gives us narrative and meaning in a culture addicted to attention. So the lie we tell is that we're moving forward and we're trying to move forward. Stop it. We've institutionalized racism as performance, as performative, as theater. It's no longer about healing. It's about keeping the stage lit and the audience watching. That's all it is. And until we admit that, we'll be spinning in this circle louder and angrier and even more divided. Because in America, race is no longer a problem to solve or to fix. It's the script that we perform. And there's too much money being made. Too much money. So what do you think, my friend? Do you believe what I'm saying? Do you agree with me? If not, it's your opinion. Or are you a racist? You must be. That's what we do. We just call anybody we disagree with a racist. So please like this video. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, make sure you subscribe. Somebody told me one time like 80-something% of the people who watch a video don't subscribe. That's horrible. And answer the particular questions I've provided as you comment. Comment as you see fit.